This video was made for fools, though non-fools may find it entertaining and educational. According to the ancient Greeks, knowing yourself is the key to wisdom. You won't stay a fool for long if you follow the old teachings. Today's subject is the psychological blind spots of fools. With the help of philosophers from the past and stoics from the Middle Ages, we'll decode activities such as makeovers, futile arguments, driving too fast, feminism, overspending, and more. Find out why some people have blind spots, repeatedly doing things that others correctly see as foolish. Join me on this journey to self-awareness. Oscar Wilde once said, "A fool is someone who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing." Buying stuff you don't need. Right now, millions of people are trundling through shopping malls or browsing Amazon sales. Among the crowds are legitimate buyers, seeking something that will deliver real value to them. But most are not like this. They are fools. They might be shopping with friends or family because they couldn't think of anything better to do. They might have had an idea for a purchase and got lost looking for bargains. The wisdom that a fool and his money are soon parted is as true today as it was before malls and online shopping were invented. The compulsive shopper buys as a pastime, satisfying unrecognized urges, the puppet of advertisers. The takeaway here is not to spend for the sake of it. Reallocate your time to beneficial activities and save or invest your spare money. Confucius said, "Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance, winning arguments with stupidity." It must be a fun feeling knowing you're going to win every argument on social media before you even hop on. You've got the strongest debate point ready and a handful of unstoppable moves. But the trouble with the debate champ is that they don't actually know how to debate. They roll out the straw man argument, attacking a position their opponent hasn't even stated. When that fails, they claim to know the ill will lurking in the other person's heart. This foolish person lacks both logic and respect. They steamroll even the wisest and most well-informed voices around. And the saddest part? They never learn because they're too busy dominating every contentious discussion. Confucius reminds us to acknowledge the limits of our understanding, engage in discussions with humility, and a genuine desire to learn. "Think ahead and you will save yourself from mistakes," said Marcus Aurelius. Racing between traffic lights. What is going on in your head when the traffic light in the distance shows yellow or amber? Why do you keep your foot on the accelerator? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think you're a racing car driver? Only a fool drives fast into a light that will turn red before you get there. Please just anticipate the change that is going to happen. It will be red, so take your foot off the accelerator. You're wasting fuel and guaranteeing a hard stop. If you slow down now, you might even glide through just as it turns back to green. Marcus Aurelius could have been enraged by modern drivers, were it not for his wisdom on temperance. His advice might be to pause and reflect on the purpose of driving. "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it," said George Santayana, stripping down in the blazing sun. You're cooler when you wear less, right? That's why we take off jackets when we get hot. So, it just makes sense to strip down when heading out in the midday sun. But the sunburnt fool should know better by now. Instead of slapping on loads of sunscreen, he could take a lesson from desert folk. Loose cotton clothing is cooler and more effective. If you're half naked, even with sunscreen, you still get burned in unexpected places. And when lotion gets in your eyes, it stings. A hat and loose, long clothes are the strategic choices. The lesson here is to recognize and act on problems within your locus of control. Find solutions rather than ingraining poor habits. Margaret Deland said, "Nothing is more beautiful than the truth, no matter how ordinary." Wearing loads of makeup. So you've done your makeover and emerged with as much face paint as a clown. Your friends are telling you how amazing and stunning you look. But to every man with an ounce of taste, this is all a bit meh. Beautiful women don't need lots of makeup to look good. The paints and powders and other concoctions are a mask to hide your flaws. Many assume you must be covering something unappealing, and we can still see your bone structure. Why be deceptive? If you truly want to impress, be subtle and show confidence in your natural self. Margaret Deland's insight reminds us of the beauty and authenticity. Going too far to hide imperfections ultimately diminishes us. As Socrates said, an unexamined life is not worth living. Having no opinion. You might think being agreeable makes you pleasant company. People rarely take offense at what you say, and you're considered nice by everyone. But is it really kindness, or is it ignorance? The fool who has no opinion doesn't know enough to take a stance, even a tentative one. They nod along, parroting the last thing they heard, never risking disagreement. Their conversations are dull, missing insight or depth. Life's complexities pass them by unnoticed because they lack curiosity. This mediocrity isn't harmless. The opinionless fool is unable to truly engage with the world or achieve anything beyond the ordinary. A lesson from observing people who are nice but uninteresting is to live a bit larger. Think, do different things, and be bold in how you engage with others. Follow Socrates' central philosophy and contemplate the spark of life within you. Aristotle observed, "What it lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do." Eating sugary snacks. There's always a reason to treat yourself. A sweet coffee with breakfast, a muffin mid-morning, or a slice of cake in the afternoon. The sugar junkie doesn't stop at occasional indulgences, but this constant sugar intake leads to blood sugar spikes and crashes, leaving this poor soul tired and sluggish. Over time, their habits invite weight gain, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and more. Yet they keep reaching for the next high, treating their body with disdain. Aristotle's wisdom highlights that the power to refrain lies within us. Every moment offers a choice. In this case, certain behaviors need to be made off limits due to unacceptable harm. As Marcus Aurelius observed, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Fighting for feminism. We don't have to keep pushing for women's rights. Society has already got there. Yet some women still feel the need to prove a point, refusing to take sole responsibility for any household chore. She wages the feminist battle modern society programmed her to fight. But this ugly positioning goes against human nature. Men seek peace, not a relentless struggle with a woman projecting masculine energy. Her combative approach and lack of appreciation push him to emotionally withdraw. Without embracing her feminine side, harmony will remain elusive. Marcus Aurelius believed in deliberately shaping our thoughts to improve our lives. If your reflexive behaviors aren't achieving good results, it's time to reassess. Mark Twain observed, "Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect." Joining big crowds. The anticipation must be overwhelming. Fireworks or a Sunday market, New Year's Eve, the peak season theme park. Crowds of people flocking together. A palpable sense of confidence that this is a worthy event. Look at the social proof. The army of thousands who are with you. But you're all fools. Traffic jams, inflated prices, queues for everything, from the entry points to the toilets and prime positions. As each member of a crowd slowly and tediously goes about their day, a good number of us are choosing the opposite, to avoid the masses and do activities anywhere else. Mark Twain's wisdom suggests we should all question the crowd's pull. Reflect on whether going with the majority adds real value to your life or merely wastes your time. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Common sense is not so common." Being a vegetarian. So you've chosen to eat vegetables, fruits, grains, beans, and pretty much nothing else. Well done. You're doing what you've been told is good for you. True, you may have cut out some of the sugary and chemical-laden foods that are bad, but you've also cut out the one superfood that has all the nutrients and energy that a human requires: fatty meat. As your body works overtime to break down and expel masses of indigestible, bland, and often toxic substances, know that many people believe you to be a fool. Benjamin Franklin reminds us to balance ideals with practicality. Consider whether your choices are guided by abstract desires or grounded in real outcomes. Life lessons. What can we learn from a stupid person beyond simply avoiding their mistakes? There's a deeper wisdom to be gained here. The ease of modern life lets people coast through, unaware of their flaws and the potential they're wasting for a bigger, more meaningful existence. Blind spots often arise from comfort, biases, or limited perspectives. They're part of being human, but the key is to recognize them and remain open to growth. Before dismissing anything in this video, take a moment to reflect. Have you truly considered other viewpoints? It's up to each of us to stay mindful, challenge ourselves, and strive to be better, to rise above foolishness and live with purpose.